to one of Shenae and Jannita's weekly videos. So this week we have a particular subject in mind, and we thought we will cater to those because we understand that there is so many people out there who have this and would still want to be there outdoors, gardening.
Life these days, it appears, has just become so full. Like really, you know, looking in the olden days, certain things affected certain people at a certain age, whereas these days, unfortunately, we work super hard, super long hours, and it takes its toll on most manual people that do manual jobs, but even people just like Shenae and I that work perhaps retail and go and do recreational stuff on the weekend. Our bodies fatigue, and a big, huge thing at the moment is
arthritis.
Yeah.
So
and it's not just restricted to old people.
No, there is young, like both young and old, male or female. It is such a common thing right now. So we thought we would just bring up the subject. I know sometimes it can be a touchy subject. We are here. It does. So we're just here to let you guys know that you don't have to stop what you do and love, which is gardening. Just because your hands are sore.
So yeah, we've got some fantastic products that do help with this. Obviously, we're not doctors, we can't make it go away, but we can definitely provide you with some wonderful equipment that will allow you to do, as Shenae said, what you love, but with a little less pain. And if you don't have arthritis, don't stop watching, because these things are beautiful, brilliant, and you might know somebody who actually would benefit from these things. So I'm going to start off with talking about one of our brilliant products that's called Bionic Gloves. Now these gloves are designed by an American orthopedic surgeon, and he designed them with arthritis in mind. So he wanted to make a glove that would help with all of the issues that you experience when you do end up with arthritis in the hands, and try and minimize all of those things that bother people and the fatigue and all that sort of stuff that you get in your hands. So these gloves really are amazing. There's a few different styles, so they're slightly different depending on which glove. But basically they're all trying to help you be able to use your hands with as little pain as possible, and also putting them under as little pressure as possible so that they're not going to hurt at the end of the day. Now I've actually had some people use these gloves that I know, and the different stories they've told me are fantastic. And even I myself have a little bit starting, unfortunately, no longer 20, in my thumb here, which is devastating. But when it sort of flares up, because it's weird with arthritis, you can go like okay for ages and it's like, oh, I don't have that, and then all of a sudden a cold spell or something hits and it's like, wow, my finger really hurts. And so I will wear my gloves in the office here typing, and the girls will laugh at me. But it takes the pain away. So they are really, really neat, and I'll show you now. So as I said, there's a few different styles. They have a fabric on fabric style, so you can get them with fabric in the palm and fabric on the top, or you can get them with fabric on the top but then leather on the palm, and then you can also get them leather top and bottom, and then that in a couple of different styles. Now, like all of the products that we distribute, these are of the highest quality. They are made really well, the workmanship is brilliant, and the materials are brilliant, so you don't have any worries with those sorts of things. Now getting back to the styles, as I said, the leather has a couple of different styles. So you've got these two here. Now this is made from a different type of leather to the work glove. The brown one they call a work glove because it's sort of designed to be used in the garden, but a bit more of a work style glove. So if you want a glove that you can use gardening, but you can also use if you're doing a bit of building work or just a bit of handyman type stuff, this is what this glove is designed to do. And also it's a little bit of a looser fit, so if you really don't like the feeling of a fitting glove, then this would be the one that you would want to look at. Whereas this one here, they call it the relief grip. It's designed to be a firm fit, and it's also designed to help people that get a lot of pain through this part of the hand. So it doesn't have a band that sits here at the base of the hand. It actually sits up a bit higher here, and that stops that extra pain that you can sometimes get through the thumb there. So very, very neat design. Now with all of the Bionic gloves, whether it be full fabric or full leather or half and half, they have this neat, I'm trying to think which one you can probably see it best in the picture, maybe this one. Yeah, you can see it here. They curl, both this finger and this finger is actually stitched and cut in a curled shape. So see how they sort of curl around? Now the reason for that is when you close your hand like this, the little finger and the forefinger, they curl in. You cannot make them go straight up and down like you can with the middle ones. They naturally curl in. So what's patent to the bionic glove is that curled in finger design. So you're not putting excessive pressure on your fingers by forcing the fabric over when you open and close your fingers. It just easily curls down because of the way the gloves are stitched. So all of those gloves have that really neat feature. The other neat feature that they all have is inside the actual palm of the glove. You'll notice here there's this beautiful terry tailing fabric. Now that sits in this middle part here of the hand, and what that does is it fills in the valley of the hand there. Now ordinarily when you grab something, this part's quite hollow, so the only bit that's actually touching what you're grabbing is the perimeter of the hand here, and that means you've got to put more pressure on whatever you're grabbing to get a hold. But with that hollow being filled with that fabric, it gives you the full surface there in the palm of your hand to hold on to what it is you're grabbing, which means less pressure again on the hand, and it makes it much easier to hold things. The other benefit actually with that terry toweling fabric there in the inside of the glove and the palm is that's where you often sweat. That's where a lot of the sweat builds up there. And that's what often will damage leather is your sweat. It's full of salt and things that leather really doesn't like. So having that sweat absorbed into the terry toweling makes the glove last a lot longer because you're taking that sweat away from the hand but then also away from the leather. So that's really quite cool. Another neat feature is if they don't have the stretchy fabric on the top of the palm, if they have the leather, they'll have slits wherever the joints are in your fingers. So again, when you push those fingers over, you're not forcing that leather or the material to go down. It's just easily stretching up and down. So it takes that pressure away and gives a bit of relief. Then also between the thumb and the forefinger here, they've got extra padding. So again, when you pick something up, you're not putting excessive pressure on the insides of those fingers. So again, it's relieving pain and fatigue. Again, also on the knuckle area, again where it's bending, there's that stretchy fabric and the slits in the leather. And also you'll notice most of the gloves as well will have silicone on the tips of the fingers. Now this is quite clever because one of the things people will say about gloves is, oh, I hate it because I lose that tactile feeling, that ability to feel what I'm grabbing. And the silicone sort of gives you the illusion that you can still feel things even though you can't. And it also grips onto things. So again, you're not having to put excessive force on the fingertips to hold onto things because that silicone's kind of grabbed onto it for you. And so comfortable, so beautifully comfortable. And silicone actually on side points, very cool. If you were to wear them while you're driving, I've done that. And when I do a bit of a long drive, my hands really ache at the end of the drive because, probably a girl thing, I don't know, but I really grip onto the steering wheel. I know you shouldn't, but I can't help myself. I grip onto it, and so at the end of the drive, I'm sort of shaking my hands and giving them a bit of a rub because they're quite sore. Whereas if I wear my gardening gloves while I'm driving, I really relax and I don't feel like I've got to grip it so hard because I've got that attachment. I can feel that silicone sort of glued onto that steering wheel, so I don't feel like I've got to squeeze it as hard. So yeah, really, really lovely and quite a neat feature, that silicone. Now the other thing is if you don't have the tough work gloves, all of the other gloves are designed to be quite a firm fit. Now this is with arthritis in mind because I often say to people, it's like if you hurt your ankle or your wrist and you go to the physio, they'll often wrap it in a bandage and strap it up. And just that pressure of that bandage takes some of the pain away, it relieves it. So if the gloves are kind of the same thing, the pressure takes a lot of that pain away and gives you a bit of relief, and it's actually really quite comforting, the feeling of having them nice and firm. And they all have a Velcro wrist attachment, so they can be on nice and snug, all except that work glove I talked about. And one other exception, which is such a neat glove, they call it their rose glove. So it's a gauntlet, it goes sort of up to about here on the arm, and just fabulous if you have any plants in the garden, like roses or bromeliads or anything that's, I've got chosen the smallest glove to actually try on. That was great. My hand's all the way back here, but anyway, give you an idea. Just to give a bit of protection. And I know that, you know, as we get older, unfortunately, our skin gets a bit thinner, and so it really easily can nick and cut. So this is great because it gives that protection. Or if, you know, somebody that doesn't have that problem with the skin still wants to do a bit of gardening with those plants that cause terrible rashes and things, this is great to just give that arm protection. And again, it's got all of those beautiful features for the arthritis to save you getting fatigue and pain. So a beautiful glove, Bionic gloves. Really, honestly, they help so much with arthritis. And if you don't have arthritis, they will be hands down the most comfortable gloves you ever wear. And as far as practicality goes, you can machine wash them, so you can't get better than that. A glove that's quality, lasts, and you can throw it in the washing machine. How brilliant.
When you are out in gardening, having a nice quality tool to have around with you that will help with this situation as well. So if you do have arthritis as well, the Silky Saw. So this is a very unique multi-purpose pruning saw to have in the garden. So it's just starting from the handle alone it has that special gum rubber as well. So it's great to help grip your hand on it, and then also it absorbs vibration. So I know with arthritis as well, vibration can really start to hurt your hand. So the great thing about having the Presenti is that it will absorb that vibration, so you have a nice relaxed feeling cut as well, and it'll make gardening just feel like a breeze. Another great thing about having the way the handle is designed as well, it has the little notch at the bottom and at the back as well, so you'll always have that secure little grip onto it, so your hand won't slide forward across the blade and your hand won't slide back. You want to say something? No?
For once I'm not interrupting.
So if you do have arthritis as well, just having something that is just relaxing for the hand as well. But the great thing about this particular saw as well, it does have super sharp teeth as well, and it does have both large and small teeth on the blade as well. So I know when you are pruning and you do come across those little branches like my finger size as well, normally you would need a pair of secateurs, but with a pair of secateurs it can, that movement there can really ache your hands. So having this few small teeth, a couple of centimeters at the front, you'll be able to nice and cut those little branches. Also when you are using the full blade to cut the branch as well, having the smaller teeth at the front will just leave that nice smooth cut at the end to help your plant from getting in contact with disease, and just help it to heal and to just grow nicely and freshly again. Another awesome thing about the Presenti as well, and all Silky Saws as well, it does have the super sharp teeth, so you don't have to put so much pressure when cutting into a branch as well, as this can be exhausting and you put too much pressure on your hand. So they've made this particular saw very sharp. So when you are cutting your branch, it does require a lot of effort. You just let the teeth basically do its work. So you just go back and forth, and then
so it's actually a special style of tooth that they've made in it, isn't it? That naturally will dig into the wood.
Yeah, so this style of teeth is called Mirumi? Yeah, Mirumi tooth style. So it'll just leave a nice, smooth, gentle cut to it, and super sharp as well. So.
Yeah, but it will dig itself into the wood, so it doesn't require any of your physical strength. You're a guide, basically, when using this saw, which is why it's so great if you have arthritis. So with arthritis, it's the pressure, so you don't have the pressure when using that saw because the teeth naturally dig into the wood for you. Being such a long, sharp blade that Shenae mentioned as well, means you're going through the wood less. So if you were to get a standard saw from a hardware, you've got to go back and forward so many times through a limb before you actually get through it. These, it's seconds. We're not talking, I don't think I've ever stood for a minute at a tree. It's seconds to get through. So it's only a few swipes and you'll be able to do that pruning that you've wanted to do.
Yes.
So coupled with the gloves and the saw, such a fabulous combination if you are having joint and pain issues. We say that the Presenti is our go-to arthritis saw because it's such a good general purpose. Like Shenae said, you can do as little branches, you can do big branches, but with very, very little pressure. And because they're pull saws, that's actually where we're the strongest as well. So trying to push is actually quite difficult, particularly when you start getting joint issues. So the fact that they only cut on the pull stroke is great because it's super efficient and very little effort required. But yet fabulous, fabulous two products if those are issues in your life or somebody that you know and love.
They will appreciate all the help.
Yes.
But I think that is all from us today.
Yes.
We hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions or inquiries, please don't hesitate to ask. We are more than happy to help. So.
And we love comments, so any comments you might have, suggestions of something we should talk about next week, please leave it in the little comment section.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.